Yo, welcome back to Urban Street 420. I'm your host, 40. Today we're reviewing the Viking Factory 100% bamboo stash box. What? This is the box that it came in, right? Okay, super good packaging. I've already taken it out. Anyways, not gonna hurt anything. There's nothing in the box. Don't worry. Here is the stash box. So, anyways, we changed the camera. One of my buddies said, why don't you try to change the camera from the side position to put it in front of you, and maybe you will be able to see better, and you guys tell me. Do you like the camera position better in this situation, or do you prefer it to be back here? Yeah. So this is a two-part, or there's going to be the first part of this video, I'm going to do a review. I'm going to show you the ins and outs, what it comes with, etc. And then in the second part, we are going to customize this because I'm an artist. I want to paint the top of it. I'm not going to paint the whole thing. I'm just going to paint the top just to make this feel more like mine, right? Now, it comes in a couple different color options. There's a natural bamboo, then there's black, and there's different sizes. The different sizes have different trays in them, they look different, etc. So yeah, I'm obviously reviewing the one that they sent me, but they do have different models. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get this one, along with other models as well. So this was packaged really well. It did come from China, but on the back here, if I turn this around, you're gonna see that there's a small little chip right here. Super small, it's just on the back of the box right there. Nothing else is cracked or broken, etc. So the reality is, I probably would have set it back just for this tiny little chip. Plus, I'm planning to paint the top anyway, so for sure, probably nobody would notice anyway. But just letting you know that it did have that little thing. Now, on the front right here, there is a combination lock. That combination lock will make it so that this thing protects your goodies from maybe your kids or your roommate who is always trying to steal your shit. Anyways, by default, there's like a little plastic thing you have to remove. And the combo is set to 000 by default. If you want to open it, just move the slide. And I'll go to the other camera. Just move the slide to the left. It opens it, right? And then you could just pick this up and it's open. But I'm going to put it back down and I'm explaining. If you want to set the combination, push this thing to the other direction, to the right. Change whatever to whatever 3-digit combo you want to set it to. Let go. And now it's set to that number. You can then now move the numbers around and you have it set. Now inside it has a little card that explains this, etc. Let's jump into it. We're going to open it, moving this to the right. We're going to open this up and let's look inside, baby. The first thing that you're going to notice is that there is a tray right here. This tray could hold things, right? Could hold papers. Now, not necessarily just rolling papers, but it could hold rolling papers. It could hold regular papers, flyers. I mean, I have a coaster over here. We could put this in here. But keep in mind, nothing is holding. So when I close this, and if I move the box around, maybe it falls down, that kind of stuff. So it depends what you would put here. Now maybe you put something here to read while you're rolling, or maybe you put like, I don't know. And actually, technically, we could decoupage something in the back right here to make it more interesting. And actually, we might just do that. I hadn't planned to, but as we're talking, I'm like, that's a good idea. So anyways, back to the review, right? I'll move the coaster back off over here. And this rolling tray right here picks up, right? Now it's in place, right? And you can pick it up easiest by this right here. Let me put it back down and show you. If I turn this for the other camera to see, you just reach right here and pull, and it picks up no problem. Now mind you, right here, there are 4 magnets, right? And those magnets correspond to inside here, right here. So they're not super strong magnets, but it's going to keep this thing in place, drop in place, and it's going to keep this kind of in a tighter fit. Now, mind you, when you close this, there is some air that could seep out, I'm thinking. So it's not that this is a smell-proof stash box, but it's a stash box to hide your stuff from people that you want to hide it from. So let's open this back up. Let's take this little rolling tray out. And again, on the rolling tray, you have a little circle right here. This is not for a drink of water. This little circle is for one of the jars that it comes with. Then right here, I'm not positive what you would put right here, but here you would put your ganja, and there's a little slot right here so you could put it into a jar or move it around or roll in here or do whatever you want. Maybe you could put some rolling paper here. I don't know, right? So let's move this off to the side, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know what this little hole is for right here, but yeah, okay. So inside, like I said, they've got some QR codes so you can connect to them, and it tells you how to set the lock. It talks about their lifetime warranty, that kind of stuff. Let's move this off to the side, but it has that card, right? Comes with a bunch of stickers that you could obviously put wherever you want. In fact, you could technically put them on the box. However, the box is nice, right? The bamboo is nice. It feels nice. And if I wasn't confident in my skills for painting, that kind of stuff, I probably wouldn't paint the top of this because I wouldn't want to ruin it because it's already nice. But I'm a really good painter, so it should be no problem, right? Now the next thing, if I show you right here, and I turn this, you're gonna see that there's this piece of foam or whatever, right? So we'll move that off to the side, and let me show you again. When I lift this up, there's a foam insert that's cut out to fit the jars. It has a grinder, it has a brush, and then it has a joint holder. So let's go ahead and take this out. I'm gonna take one of the jars out, which will make it easier to take this out, and then bada bing, bada boom, right? So first I'm gonna move this off to the side and just show you inside the box. You look inside the box, you can see the natural grain. It is really nice, right? Now, the wood feels nice. I don't know, it smells like nice wood. Does nice wood smell? Yeah, I mean, it smells like good bamboo, I don't know. Anyways, the hinges, they look nice, but mind you, they're quite small. I wouldn't go crazy ripping this open, this and that, because maybe you would mess with these hinges, right? Because this is quite thin, the screws, the hinges themselves, etc. In fact, when we go ahead and take this top off, I've already looked, all we're gonna do is unscrew these screws, take the hinge out, and then the top will be separate of everything, right? Now, I think in here, there's 2 screws here, so we can remove this as well for when we're painting it, right? So, okay, so this is empty. You could put whatever you want in here. You don't have to use these jars that it comes with, right? So this jar, obviously you could put inside here, and it's inside the stash box now. However, if you don't want to put these jars, you don't have to. If you want to put your own jars, you can. But the reality is, when you put this little piece in, right, you have a certain amount of height. So actually, let's figure that out. Now, how could we figure that out? If we look at here, there is a little lip right here. This lip, obviously, is for this tray to sit on, right here and right here. So up into that lip is how tall something could be. Let me grab my tape measure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open the tape measure. We're gonna look, and it looks like we could fit maybe 8 centimeters, right? What is 8 centimeters? I think that's less than 4 inches. It's 3 inches and something. I'll leave it up at the top, but it looks around 8 centimeters. So how tall is this thing right here? This jar, let's check. If we look, the jar is 7.5. So you probably could put, or you could put something that's a ½ centimeter taller if you had. So if you have other jars, etc. So it comes with one of these jars, and if you look, there is a little, I don't know, rubber or silicone right here, so it creates a seal, which I suppose what's inside will stay fresher. But look at this. When you put it in, you have to be careful how you put it in, because if you put it in too hard, maybe it turns the silicone. Anyways, I feel like the box is a little nicer than the jar, but I mean, how much do you want, right? The reality is this is a nice finish on top, so this is a nice piece of wood. Down here, another nice piece of wood. I just think that they should upgrade this silicone piece right here, right? But anyway, so we put this in, we could fill this up with herb, with M&Ms, with whatever you want. Love letters, I don't know, whatever you want. So there's a second one, same thing, right? So we'll put both of these in here. Next, we have a joint holder, right? So obviously, you probably have a bunch of these, and you just take this off. You could put your joint inside here, put this down. You could put it either inside here, you could put it down in here, or you could put it, I suppose, maybe on top of here, right? But anyways, we'll put it inside, and let me just show you that this jar does fit perfectly right here. In fact, it fits so good that you can have it on its side and it doesn't fall out. So that's good. This is perfectly made to fit in there. Next, it comes with a grinder, right? All right, so here's the grinder. It's a 3-stage. Here's the top. You take it off, and you could go ahead and grind here. Then you can open up the middle part to take the herb that would have come through here. You have a screen so they can filter out the keef, and it's a keef catch on the bottom. So I'll go ahead and close this. I'll open the bottom part, and here's the keef catch with a little scraper so that you can scrape off the keef when it gets full. Obviously, I haven't used this yet, so I'm going to put the grinder inside here, and you have one other item in here, right? You have a brush. Now, what is this brush for? When you have this, let me go ahead and put this right here. When you have this in here, you cannot sweep herb in, right? But let's say if I move the stash box and I have this on the table, right? And I'm going to hold it at an angle so hopefully you can see, but imagine it was flat like this. So I put herb here or whatever, and on the side of the table, I could go like this to brush stuff into a jar, for example. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do it like this. I would put it on the side of the table in front of me. I would bring this right here, and now I have the jar underneath, and I'm just putting whatever I'm putting in here. I think that's what this is for, right? And again, you could either put this, let me move this back over here, we could put this right here, which doesn't seem like the best place to put it. And maybe this actually fits. It does, this little hole right here. So maybe that's what it's for, is to put right here. So when you have your jar here, you have your little sweeper here or whatever, right? Obviously, you don't have to put herb in here. You could put other things. You could put your herb in a stash bag, for example, put it in here so that there's no smell. You could put your herb in a Ziploc, or you could put it loosely in here, or whatever you want. And maybe you have M&Ms in here, right? Because who doesn't like M&Ms? This is not an advertisement for them. I'm not affiliated with them. I just like to eat that garbage, right? Anyway, so we're gonna put this back in there. We're gonna put this right here, and yeah. So when you close this, right, you wanna make sure there's a little opening right here, right? And this is to pick it up easier, I suppose. And then you can close it like so, press this down. And I have to say, the thing feels like the wood feels quality, feels nice. The hinges are small, but I think it's because of the design, right? The reality is, if they put more robust hinges, it would change this design quite a bit. And I think that it was a judgment call. So I'm not even knocking them for these hinges. I just think, yeah. Anyway, so we turn this around. The locking mechanism is not hardcore. If somebody wants to get into this, for sure they can. You could put a crowbar, or you could put some kind of knife or something and pop it open, because this thing is not on seriously. This is to stop someone from getting in without you knowing they got in, right? So if someone breaks into this, for example, then you are going to know that they broke into it because something's going to be broken, etc. But this is not going to stop people. This is not like a crazy safe, right? This is just to keep your stuff safe from your roommate who maybe takes your joints, or your girlfriend or your wife. You're like, yo, don't bogart my stuff. Do your own stuff. I don't know, right? Or maybe you have children and you want to make sure that they can't get to your weed and they're super young and they're not going to try to bust this open, but when they see there's a lock, they just leave it alone. Maybe that, right? Or just a nice place to put your stuff. I don't have kids. I don't have a roommate. So the reality is, I'm not necessarily trying to keep somebody out, but sometimes it's nice to have your stuff organized. And I think this is a good option for that, as well as to protect your stuff from maybe a family member or a roommate or something like that. So without further ado, let's get into designing this puppy, making it cooler, right? I don't know what else to say about it other than, yeah, it's well made, it's nice, and once we paint this puppy, it's gonna be badass. Anyways, so I have an orbital sander right here. The reality is, if we paint on top of this wood by itself, there's a gloss finish on it. What's gonna happen is, even though the paint will apply, the paint will separate at some point or chip off or whatever. So we need to put a light sand on this so that when we paint it, the paint becomes part of the piece, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take the screws off. Let me go grab a screwdriver because you guys could watch that part. Then I'll sand this outside and we'll be back to paint it, baby. All right, so I have one of these kits that has all these small little Phillips heads and Torx and blah, 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 but for sure it's gonna be able to open this. Now, in order to do that, we're gonna go ahead and slide this to the left to pop it open. We'll move this over. And yeah, we're gonna take this out only to make it easier to work. Obviously, we don't need it in there. And what we're going to do, let me show you on this other camera, is that, like I said, there's some screws right here. There's some screws right here. By removing, I think it's 4. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so by removing those 4 screws on either side, we should be able to take this off of the case. So let's see what it fits, right? I don't know what kind of screw we need, but let's see. Maybe this. So yeah, let me show you. This is these things are not meant to come off. So I had a lot of problems stripping the screws. I'm using the right bit finally, but the reality is I stripped one screw, which took me forever to get off. I have another screw that's stripped right here on the top, but because now this is separate, I'm gonna wait till I do the other side, hopefully be a bit more careful, and then when I take off this screw, it should come off no problem. I had not planned on taking it off of this part of the box, but it did. Anyway, so let's keep going and try to get this part off, and then we can sand it, baby. So by the way, I'm just saying, I don't know if I recommend doing this because it could be that you strip the screws and you need to know what to do when that happens. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut up. Let's get this done, baby. All right, let me show you on the other camera. Jeez. So you'll notice I was able to leave it on this side, but the thing is I started to take it off one screw and then it started to strip, so I left it, huh? Anyways, since this is just on the box, we'll just leave it because we just don't want it on this, right? And over here, you'll notice when I go ahead and fix this, if I pull this up, is this screw right here is stripped, huh? So what we could do now that it's off, it should be easier to work with. We're gonna see if we can apply pressure. Now the thing is, it needs to be this width of a point, but it should be a little more snub-nosed, and then I think this would not have the problem with stripping, right? And this is not the good kind of stripping that some of us like or don't like, I don't know. Anyway, this is frustrating, huh? Because I think this screw is really messed up, and I'm gonna have to use a plier or something and try to pull it out, or you could drill them out too, but this is way more than I wanted. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna take this outside, I'm gonna sand it, I'll be back. First I have to get this off. I'll see you guys in a bit, huh? All right, so I sanded this with this orbital sander right here. I'll leave a link in case you need one. This is a Makita. It's definitely nicer than some other ones, but anyways, this thing will last forever. I mean, 50 years, no problem. Anyways, I mean, it's not like I'm warranting it, but I'm just saying, all my Makita tools have lasted a lifetime, huh? Don't have any problems, don't have to service. Anyway, so we sanded this on the sides, on the top, etc. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape the bottom, and then after I tape it with painter's tape, I'm gonna have this here just to take this off of this, what do you call it? Maybe even in this direction, to keep it off of this tarp, because I'm gonna do a liquid acrylic technique on top, and then we will still do more painting. But anyways, so I'm gonna shut up. We'll fast forward this in post. I don't think I'm gonna explain every step because this is not necessarily an art tutorial. I'm just gonna show you how I'm gonna do this. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Anyways, let's get going, baby. Alright, so here we are. This part's gonna take like 24 hours to dry, give or take. I need to bring a fan probably because this is gonna take forever to dry. Be careful if you do this, if you've never done it before, look up liquid acrylic pouring. I do have a YouTube channel for art called Can't Stop Art, but the thing is I haven't updated a video there in a long time, and yeah. But anyway, so next step tomorrow, I'll see you guys then. Bada bing, bada woo! All right, so this is what I came up with. Let me show you on the other camera. So on the sides here, we have black sand mixed with broken black glass glitter, applied with a medium. Surrounding here, we have this fluorescent paint that comes, and these are Swarovski crystals, alternating between clear or translucent and red, right? In the middle, we have a liquid pour that includes some fluorescent paint. And if I take this right here, it's probably too bright. I don't know how well you could see. Let me see if I could turn the lights off. Hold on a second. All right, I'm gonna try to show you with the lights off and just this flashlight. Well, most of the lights are off in the house with this flashlight. You'll see it's so blown out. That's because it looks super white where the light is hitting it. But anyways, let me try this other flashlight. Let's see if it works better. This one is not bright enough. So anyway, you get the gist. It looks super cool in the black light, but it looks great without. Let me turn the lights back on. I was thinking actually of doing this effect that I did with the sand and the glass glitter here, where I did this lines, right? Is it right here? No, it's here. These squiggly lines. I did that because it looked too plain black, and I didn't want to do this top part, right? I didn't want to do it here on the side because it was going to take so long to dry, and I already feel like this has taken way more days than I thought to make this video. But I thought just doing a review of this thing, okay, that would be cool, but better to just show you like what you could do with it, right? Obviously, you could buy a stash box, but if you pimp out your stash box, even better. This thing's super quality. I can't wait to fill it up. I purposely didn't show any herb in this video because I don't want it to get flagged. I want everyone to be able to see it. I don't know what that was, yo. Anyways, let me turn the light back on. All right, guys, I hope you like this video. I was just gonna do a review, but I'm glad that I customized it because it made it even better, right? If you want to pick up one of these boxes, I'll leave a link in the description where you can pick it up from Amazon. They're super cool, they're super quality, I really like it, and I can't wait to fill it up. You might be asking yourself, why did I fill it with weed and all this other stuff and whatever? Because I didn't want the video to get flagged and then limit the viewability, right? So, anyways, you guys could fill it up with whatever you want. M&Ms, Kit Kats, flowers, whatever you want, baby. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the deal, baby. Till next time, I'm out.